So glory be to God. The reason why I'm so excited is because God finally revealed to me a solution to one of the biggest problems we have in Kenya, in Africa, and in very many countries in the world. This is a problem of corruption. Is it possible for us to end corruption once and for all? It is possible. And today, God, through his divine wisdom, he revealed a solution to me that I will just be his mouthpiece, and just share it as it is, as he has placed it in my heart. So Kenya, for the past 40 or 50 years, since independence, we have witnessed a change in regime, 4 different regimes. And one of the issues that has stuck with us, like a bad leech, the way a leech sucks blood out of you, or a bed bug, is the problem of corruption. That corruption, even though we have changed the leaders, the problem of corruption has remained. And today, God revealed to me a solution that I want to share with you guys. It is a very scary solution. At first, I just said, God, no, it can't be this. This can't be the solution to corruption. But I will share it as it is and let God's will be done. Yeah. So God showed me the story. It's in Joshua 7, a very scary story in the Bible. So I always read this story and it really freaked me out. But today God brought it to light when I was thinking about corruption in Kenya. Yeah. So in Joshua 7, it's a story of a man named Achan and Joshua. So the Israelites, they are now taking over the promised land, what God has promised them, So they are conquering the tribes that live there. But incidentally, when they go and fight a tribe called Ai, I don't know how to pronounce it, they're defeated. And so they come back humiliated, and Joshua is here crying to the Lord and telling God, where have we gone wrong? God, you promised us the promised land, we are here. And these guys have warned us, God, what is wrong? And God tells him that, wake up, And the problem is that one of you guys here has taken things that don't belong to him. They have taken gold, silver, fine garments, and they have hidden them in the tent. And I'm going to reveal it to you, And so Joshua, they are laying all the tribes of Israel before them. And the Lord picks a tribe, a family, a tribe, a clan, a family, and a person. And he picks out a man called Achan. And Achan here, he confesses and says that when we went to loot, I took those things that were forbidden, for myself, because I wanted to keep them for my own self, because I was greedy for gain, And so I put them in my tent. I hid them under my tent, and that's where they are. And so Joshua sends some few men with him. They unearth these contraband goods, and they bring them before the Lord. And the Lord, what the Lord instructs Joshua and the Israelites to do is what really scared me. So the Lord tells Joshua this, that I want you to take Achan, his family, his belongings, his cattle, his goats, everything that belongs to him, put it in the middle of the Israelites, and I want them to stone each and every one of them to death, and then burn them up, and then put stones over their body for a memorial that if anybody would do the same as him, he will face the same punishment as Achan. And that's where God gave me, that is where the solution to corruption is. And when I began thinking about it, I was like, wow, maybe it's so. The problem that has been happening in Kenya over the years and years and years is that everybody who has stolen money meant for the public has just been given a mere slap on the wrist. In fact, they are let go of with basically no punishment whatsoever, And this, because there has been no repercussions, or because there has been no punishment, this ill has gone into society. And everybody, once they come into power, everybody thinks it's my time to eat. Yeah. And everybody grabs as much public resources as possible. Today, the Control of Budget, I think, something like that, released a report for the last 9 months on how the counties have been using money. And it looked like it was a competition for who can be able to steal more, who can be able to embezzle more funds. It looked like everybody was trying to grab as much as they could. And it was interesting that the Lord showed me this. The Lord told me that, Ben, the reason why Kenya has not gone to the promised land, which is to your first world country, is because of corruption. Because the Israelites, they were unable to overcome, they were unable to get their promised land because of because of the wrongdoing of one person amongst them who was corrupt. And the whole of Israel was punished because of this one person. And God was telling me this, that the whole of Kenya, all of us, the 54 million of us, are being punished because of a few individuals who are corrupt. That will mean that for us to move to become, to our destiny, to prosperity, to us become a first world country, one of the things that must be dealt with right now is corruption. And as long as these individuals continue to exist in our society, Kenya will never, ever, ever become a first world country. That will mean that these individuals, as I provide the solution, what God put in my mind, that corruption, embezzlement of funds in Kenya must become a capital offense or a capital crime. So capital crime are the crimes that invoke the maximum punishment, which in Kenya is life, because there's no death penalty. It is life, and the crimes, they're like, treason. Imagine treason is a capital punishment, it's a capital crime. Treason, robbery with violence, murder, corruption. What God has put in my mind is that now a law or a bill must be passed whereby corruption has to be labeled a capital crime. That if anybody is caught embezzling funds that belong to the public, then they must face capital punishment. They must face the most serious punishment available in Kenya, which is life imprisonment. And I was thinking about it, I was like, God, that is so, that is so extreme. But it was like, so as Achan, Achan's punishment was so bad, but the whole idea is that Achan served as a memorial. The Swahili says, funzo, ikue funzo kwa wengine, as an example, that the stones that were put there, the monument of Achan, which remains until now, it was a monument for the Israelites to remember that anybody who is caught in corruption, that is your punishment. And because of the severity of what happened to Achan and his family, nobody else would dare steal or embezzle funds again. And I think in Kenya, it's about time that just, not even many, just take a few of these corrupt individuals and let them serve as an example. Let them be put in prison for life, and let them be an example to the rest of us that if you ever dare do the same thing, the same punishment awaits you. But as I end this, God again gave me another solution to corruption, which was another way out. So it's the story of Zacchaeus. So Zacchaeus, he's a tax collector. He embezzles funds. He collects more than he's supposed to and keeps it for himself. So Jesus sees him up on a tree, sycamore tree, and invites him down and invites him to his house for dinner. And when he comes to his house for dinner, what Zacchaeus says is very, very monumental. Again, Zacchaeus said that if I have stolen from anybody, I am going to return to them 4 times what I have stolen to them. And so God gave me this answer, that if you want the way of grace, if you want the, if you want to come to an arrangement whereby you will not be in prison for life, then you have to pay back whatever you have stolen 4 times. 4 times. So there's a case in Kenya, a certain governor who was caught embezzling about 2 billion shillings. And you know what he gave as a, as a plea bargain for him to be let go? 300 million. So the rest of the 1.7 billion, it disappeared. But what God is telling me is that they must pay it back 4 times, like what Zacchaeus said. They must either pay back 4 times what they have stolen, or they be imprisoned for life. That is the only way that Kenya and public officials will be held accountable, and they will fear so much stealing funds that all these funds that are collected will benefit Kenya and will make us rise to go to our promised land, which is for us to become a first world country. Well, I'm just a messenger. hope this message gets to the one who needs to hear it. Till next time, guys, God bless.